What's going on? This is G-Ball Vision, and today I have a new knife here to share with you. We are in for a real treat. This is coming in from Remette Knives. While I get this opened up, let me know down in the comments what your carry is today. Remette has been on absolute fire over the last year and a half. All of 2024 and all of 2025, they have just put out some extremely solid models, and I think this one is going to fall right in line with the rest of them. This is going to be the new Remette Woodpecker, and as far as I know, they have a restock coming on these. There are still some available in a couple different variations. This is going to be the first time I have ever seen anything in person with the crystallized titanium here. This is kind of a new thing that we're going to start seeing from various companies. It is some really good looking stuff that is still going to be titanium, but they are really doing a phenomenal job at the innovation and coating spur titanium has always been fairly simple. It's gotten a lot better over the last year or two, but they are really starting to put the pedal to the metal here and put some extremely good finishes on this stuff with a lot of color as well. It looks crystallized is perfect. It really does look kind of like a diamond. We have a full titanium backspacer, or not a full one, but a half titanium backspacer with an integrated lanyard hole here. We do have a milled tie clip. All of that is going to be matching. We have no body screws. We have no pivot screw, at least showing. Man, this is really clean. Oh, man. Look at that blade. So Remette does what Couture and Reich do. They do this kind of polished sand blasted type finish. It's not a sandblast, but it's some sort of like blasted polish mirror finish. It looks really good, and it definitely holds up to wear and tear very good. There's other companies that toy with a similar finish, and it looks really good. And we do have a kind of fuller / cutout here for the deployment, as well as a front flipper. Let's give that a try, and that is going to work really well. Nice and snappy on the detent. It's a little stronger, and that is that's what we want, especially dealing with a front flipper. Very good. Centering is dead on. We need an XL model of this knife. Going to be coming in M390 for the blade steel, has that modified sheep's foot look. And surprisingly, they have dabbled in some fairly expensive knives. And when I first saw these, I thought they would be a little bit more. They are actually offering these at $250. And I believe I have a discount code, so it'd actually be even a little bit less than that. And that's a solid deal for a new knife in titanium and M390, let alone a completely new finish on this knife. We can kind of go off on different tangents on price, but I think at $250, this is a solid value if you like the look. They have different colors, blue, green, and I think they'll be coming out with more as well. They are hitting 60 to 61 straight across the board for the M390, and we are going to be looking at a liner lock here. Good access to that liner. They chamfer that out real nicely. I've become a huge fan of Remette here over the last year. We are going to be looking at a steel liner there. So not a huge deal, just wanted to do that for clarification. And that's going to help lessen the price there. Had those been titanium liners, that would have easily added, quite a bit more compared to the steel. So let's give this thing a quick measurement here, and we'll get it running. 7 inches overall, and we're coming in there 2 15/16 of cutting edge and blade. I'll put up a couple of comparison knives so you can get an idea on the size of this. We have the very popular Vosteed Raccoon up top, and then we have the very large CJRB Frac here on the bottom. And it's going to be, a little bit closer to that raccoon size, but it's still going to be quite a bit smaller on both ends. But because of how this is designed, you're going to be able to, in most cases, unless you have a huge, huge hand, get all 4 fingers on this knife. And we'll hone in here a little bit closer. We have the Benchmade bug out here up top and the Kaiser drop bear here on the bottom. And it's going to be very, very comparable to the Kaiser drop bear. So I have about a 4 inches, maybe a little bit more as far as width on my hand here. And that's what we're going to be looking at in regards to our handle there as well. So I'm going to be able to get a nice full grip on this, nothing interfering, nothing in my way. And that's plenty. I don't need any more than that for just a casual EDC. And, if it was any shorter, probably would start to travel into that 3.5 finger grip. But as this one sits, unless you have a massive paw, you'll be able to get a full grip on here. Now, I have maintained since 2024, about 3/4 of the way through the year, I have said Remette is the most improved company from, the time of them starting, which was 2.5, 3 years ago, to where they are now. They have just made incredible leaps, starting at $30, $40 D2 knives, and now putting out stuff like this. Whew. We'll take a look at this pocket clip here, and it's a nice milled clip, got a little detail here. And that comes down to a little point, and you'll have a little bit poking out of the pocket there, but that'll be perfect. Grab a hold of this and retrieve it out of the pocket. Nice tension there on our thinner cloth, and they did a good job at allowing a little bit more width in there with that pocket clip, and that'll give you some variety and option as to what you can carry this in. Unless they are extremely thick seams, I think you're going to be in good shape. But what does a 7-inch overall titanium handle with recessed steel liners weigh? You'll have to let me know what you think down in the comments. We're going to get my arch nemesis out here and see what this thing weighs. This is a little chodester. I was initially thinking something closer to 3 grams, or 3 ounces, I'm sorry. But I think it's more than that. It's gotta be up above 3.5. Let me know down in the comments what you think. I'm gonna say it's deceiving, and it's definitely got some heft to it. 3.7 is what I'm gonna go with. 3.7. 3.7-ish. Oh man, yeah, it's up there at 4 ounces. So not a bad thing, in my opinion. I don't mind that little bit of added heft. Some people, a very minimal amount of people, will complain about ratios and blah, blah, blah. But that is nothing that, matters here unless it is just, overly ridiculous. For everyone else, 112 grams. So one thing that I'm really interested in is to get some specs here on this handle and blade. We'll get a check on the handle first, and that's going to come in there at 0.48. So it's got a decent thickness to the handle there. And 120 thousandths for the blade stock there. And we'll pick a random spot here. Check our behind the edge, and we can get a better reading than that. Very standard, about 21 with that particular hold in that particular spot. But let's see how this cuts out of the box. And for that, we'll use our SMKW catalog paper here. pretty good media just to see what kind of edge we're going to get on this. Not going to be much of a poking knife. You have a little tip here, very low. This is going to be more of kind of a utility EDC, but definitely has a gentleman, a futuristic gentleman aesthetic to it. I think people are going to have to be more accepting of what a gentleman folder is, at least in my opinion. I think this is a classy looking futuristic knife. It's got a nice edge on it. Yeah. Nice edge. Really thins out there too, going towards the tip. So I just wanted to give a quick look on the website with this knife, and I had no idea, but it says that this slides. It says the handle will slide up. Whoa. I had no idea that this knife did that. And that is how you're going to be able to access. Wow, that is awesome. I haven't seen any videos on this either. I've just seen some photos of it. Wow. So that pokes back in there. Those posts have kind of a recess underneath that lip. There's a lip, and then it's recessed. And those should fit down in there. Slide it back. And yeah. You actually have to put something on it in order to get it to pop off as well. I'm not sure if that's the machining doing that or... But that's retained in there pretty good. It's not just going to willy-nilly slide up on you. You really got to give it... You got to give it some gas. Yeah. That is really cool. Should we find out? Yeah. Let's find out what size screws we're looking at. So we have our T8 driver here, and that's what we're looking at, T8. And it looks like everything else is going to be T6 here. So your pivot, and unless you're just really interested and want to mess around, there's not much reason to go past this part right here. Tighten up your pivot, lubricate it, clean it up a little bit. You know, you can still get in here every which way. You're not going to be flipping the clip around. So really, that is going to be irrelevant. And I assume they're using good quality hardware here. So we're going to go ahead and give this thing a couple of love taps just to make sure it's not going to fail its lockup here. And we have a pretty good lockup there, about 35% or so. And it feels good. Give it a couple lighter taps just to get going here. Quick double tap. Check it. Good. We're not trying to see if we can hammer a nail into a tree or anything like that. We're just making sure that there's a good positive meet up there with the lock face and the tang of that blade. And Remette has just proven time and time again that they're going to put out a well-finished product, put good materials into the product, and make sure the quality control is checked before it goes into your box. Of course, there's always going to be things that, you know, get missed, especially with human beings. We make mistakes, and that's how it goes. But I think for the most part, you're going to get a very solid product from them. You'll have to let me know. What are your thoughts on the Woodpecker here? And let me know if you've gotten any or bought any of the newer Remettes over the last year and a half From their gravity knives to their premium folding knives, even down to their more budget-ended folders, they have just done a solid job over the last year and a half. And I look for them to continue doing some of the biggest, if not the biggest things when it comes to the knife industry, and also being able to keep the price a lot more affordable than some other companies. Let me know your thoughts. I look forward to hearing from you. Share this video with any friends or family that love knives and gear. Love to have them here. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And if you are new here yourself, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell. That'll notify you when I release new videos, which is every single day. I'll pop up a couple of new ones on your screen. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.